ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast with your hosts, Eric and Chris Martinez. We have our guest, the one and only Kate Robertson, on here. Kate, how are you?
Actually, it's Robertson.
Robertson, sorry. See, excuse me on that. Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm good.
How are you doing today?
How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're hanging in there, trying to get the hang of this podcast thing. You know, just trying not to let our eyebrows take over the whole screen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I had to mention, guys, that Kate was emailing if this is going to be via video, and I told her that she looks fly anyway, so don't even worry about it.
I'm looking fly.
Yeah, so, thanks for coming on our podcast. We really appreciate it. And I guess we just want to kind of start with like what we do with all our guests. And, who is Kate Robertson? And if you want to tell us kind of what your story is.
Sure. Well, oh man, it's a long one. It's a long story. I'm a very eclectic, kind of multifaceted person. I have a lot of random interests and things. From songwriting to lifting and fitness and making recipes and all kinds of nerdy stuff. But I guess my story from a fitness perspective, all kind of started when I was growing up. I was known as the fat girl growing up my whole life. So I grew up in a little beach town called Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
If you guys have ever seen Dawson's Creek or One Tree Hill.
Eric's a big fan.
Really?
No, he's kidding.
No?
He's kidding.
Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Anyways, so those shows were filmed in my little hometown. And so as far back as I can remember, I was the little fat girl. And I didn't really fit in at all with any groups, so I was a huge nerd. Growing up, I got picked on a lot and got made fun of a lot, but looking back, I'm actually really thankful for that. It sounds kind of weird, but it kind of made me into who I am today. I feel like I'm a more compassionate person because of that. I can kind of empathize with people. But yeah, and during that time, I developed a love for singing and songwriting.
Okay.
Because I wasn't, going out on the weekends and partying like all the cool kids. I actually would lock myself in my room and learn albums on guitar, and Michelle Branch was my hero growing up, so I locked myself in my room and just learned her entire first album and started writing my own stuff. And yeah, so that's also when I became a Christian, and that's a huge part of my life. The most important part of my life is that I'm a Christian. And so, sorry, my dog is snoring right now. So if you hear weird noises, he always has to be on my lap and snoring and farting and being gross. But
his comfort zone.
But anyways, so also during that time, I got into some really nerdy stuff anime and gaming, and I was in this little online voice acting community for a while where I would be the voice of Sailor Moon, and it was really nerdy, but lots of crazy stuff. In high school, I started running cross country, and I started eating less and discovered that I could lose weight that way. So I lost a bunch of weight during high school, and then when I went to college, I gained a little bit of weight, but I wasn't fat. I guess I would say I was normal looking in college, and then I released my first album, music, in college. And then after that, I got a really cool opportunity to move to Nashville, Tennessee, for music. And I felt like I really needed to look good to do well in the music industry.
Right.
And that is when things kind of took a turn for the worse. And I basically decided to starve myself. All I ate was vegetables for a couple weeks, and I lost 20 pounds in a couple weeks, and that just started my battle with about a 5-year eating disorder where
Gotcha.
I didn't think that basically I knew that in order to stay skinny, I couldn't eat, because when I did eat more, I would gain a ton of weight, and it
Right.
would show up on the scale the next day, and I would freak out.
Right.
So yeah, that was kind of my view. So people were like worried about me, and my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, it put a huge wedge in our relationship. It messed with a bunch of my relationships with friends and family, and just overall reduced my quality of life significantly.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So that's around that time is when, about 5 years after being into the eating disorder, I found Dr. Lane Norton's videos online, and the one about reverse dieting in particular just completely changed my life. And that's when I finally realized I could reverse my metabolism, and that there was evidence of that working for bodybuilders, but I didn't know if it could work for just like a normal girl who
Right.
just, I wasn't really lifting. I mean, I was doing like, what is it? Sean, that guy, what's that guy? Sean T.
Insanity.
Sean T.
Oh, insanity.
I was doing insanity. Like, literally, I was doing insanity. It was insane. And so, anyways, yeah, quit doing insanity, started lifting, and I was eating around like 700 to 800 calories a day at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like really, really scared to gain weight. So I just kept, I was counting I started counting macros, but I was too scared to reverse diet, because it was just a mental thing,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So I was just basically eating a ton of protein, and that's it. To count macros at 800 calories was pretty rough. So, anyways, that's when, about a year into just eating like 800 calories and counting macros, I decided to just go for it and reverse diet, and that I would start a blog all about it and call it the Macroexperiment.
Awesome.
Okay.
Gotcha. I was just, the thought just like came to my head one day. It was just like, Macroexperiment, you need to start this blog. And I knew that it would hold me accountable to actually doing it and being very accurate about my macros. And if I was going to put them online, like every single week, my macro changes, my body fat percent, my weight, every single detail every week, and update it on my blog so that other people could see it.
Yeah.
And that if it worked, it would be kind of an outline so other people could see how to do it. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. So it did work, which was awesome. And I put my data online, and yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Awesome.
And
Love it.
yeah, so that happened about 2 years ago, and that's when I reached out to Lane, and I just wanted to let him know how his information had changed my life, and just kind of tell him about my blog a little bit. And he responded, and I was just blown away that he even responded to my email.
Right.
And he was super encouraging and motivating. And now I'm so honored because he's my coach, and he's guiding me through my first contest prep ever.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's
Nice.
gonna happen in July 16th here in Nashville.
Damn.
Ooh,
My
that's coming up
first
quick.
show.
That's
I
close.
know, it's scary, but I know, I'm really confident that he will get me where I need
Yeah.
to be, despite my first time like nervousness of being scared about getting on a stage
Yeah.
in a bikini in front of a bunch of people.
Exactly.
No, you're in very good hands.
But yeah, I know I am. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really, really cool. Thank you for sharing all that. I caught a couple of things what you said in the beginning, how that you have like three main passions, and that's pretty much fitness, that's your recipes, and then singing, songwriting, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you a curveball here, okay? So
Okay.
let's put that in order of importance of what you're most passionate about.
oh my gosh, that's so hard. Oh man. Okay. I guess I would say fitness, and then writing recipes, and then songwriting. Right now, that's kind of the order.
Gotcha.
I guess. I
Okay,
would say.
and so then why would you put the recipes in front of singing, songwriting, though?
I guess whoa, sorry, you guys keep falling. Right now, that brings me the most joy, I guess.
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know. It's in order of what brings me the greatest amount of joy. Does that make sense?
No, that's good.
No,
I mean, we're all
absolutely.
about what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think it's just the fact of getting those recipes out to the masses and, just kind of having them give you their feedback and just kind of like thanking you for the recipes, and that's kind of like a gratitude that you feel, for giving out those recipes?
Yeah, I really like the feedback that people give. I just feel like I love creating things. I love writing things, and just the process of being creative makes me happy. It's super fun.
Yeah, and not to mention they look bomb. Like
Yeah,
every time you
seriously.
post
Thanks,
something, like my
dude.
mouth's like salivating. I'm like, holy shit! Like, how did she come up with this?
I can definitely see
Thank
you
you.
doing like a recipe book or something like that in the future.
Yeah,
Seeing that
that'd
at
be
Barnes and
fun.
Nobles.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Absolutely.
So let's kind of change gears here. So Chris and I are really big like on starting off our day, just kind of like programming our subconscious, just getting like everything just going the right way, thinking positive. So what do you do? What do you do in the first 60 to 120 minutes of your day?
Oh man, it's not really that cool. I mean, to be
It
real
doesn't
with
have
you.
to be cool though.
Okay. I just wake up, I pee, I
Okay.
weigh myself.
So do we.
Every-
So do we.
I wouldn't usually weigh myself like every day, but for contest prep purposes.
Yeah, that's a
important.
must.
Yeah. So, I usually drink some coffee, eat some breakfast, hang out with my dog, and just kind of have a little bit of me time. Just kind of, gather my thoughts for the day.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's probably about it.
Okay,
So, yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
Oh, firing the questions back.
man.
Huh?
I'll start with myself. Since I'm the older twin by a minute, that means I go first with everything.
Oh, snap.
I'm just messing with this guy. But so what I do normally is I try to wake up anywhere from 7 to 8 o'clock every morning. Like you said, like I use the bathroom, I weigh myself, hold myself accountable as tracking all my my forms of data. After that, I'll go downstairs, do a light stretch anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. To me, that's kind of like my personal meditation. After that, I journal in my journal just about gratitude, 3 things that I'm grateful for, and kind of that gets me going because it's so easy to wake up every morning and be negative and just have that negative energy when something comes up. Always something comes up in life. So
Yeah.
by me writing those things out, what I'm grateful for, it just really helps me focus throughout the day. And then after that, I read, either a book or a study for 30 minutes, and then I get going with my day after that. So that's been working well for me.
That's awesome.
I can't say anything different than that. I mean, I pretty much do the same exact thing. So that's why he went first, and
Yeah.
I knew he was going to steal that right out of my mouth.
That's cool. You guys do this. You're twins, and
I'm
you
telling you.
do
Yeah.
the same stuff.
Yeah, we
That's
think the same
awesome.
way, just all that stuff. It's funny.
Aw, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because like if we were like to talk to you in person, I guarantee I would ask you a set of questions, and then literally 5 minutes after, he'd ask you the same exact questions.
Yep.
I
Pretty
can
much.
see that happening.
Yeah.
You have such similar personalities.
Yeah,
It's
it happens
crazy.
all the time.
It's funny.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so moving along. So goal wise, okay, so you have a competition coming up in July. Okay, obviously that's a big goal that you got to scratch off the to-do list, right? So what are 2 or 3 other goals in 2016 that you are working on right now and that you must complete in 2016?
Oh man, I'm just kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants type girl. I don't really like to plan stuff out. But yes, competition, getting into the best shape, best conditioning of my life thus far would be, the big one. But just growing, I guess, in my knowledge and skills about lifting and nutrition
Nice.
would be another thing, and just like, refining my recipe developing skills and just learning how to make things for better macros that taste better. That's like my goal, is just to get like the best macros and the best taste as
Right.
possible, so, and yeah, just helping as many people as I possibly can to, live a balanced and healthy life and make people happy.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Those
Right
are
on.
my goals.
There you go.
Awesome.
Okay, so we know with goals, there always comes obstacles, adversity, stuff like that. So, what are the challenges that you're facing or distractions that you're facing right now that are kind of, I don't want to say like slowing you down, but just kind of right there as like a small roadblock to your goals?
I know that for myself, with a past history of body dysmorphia,
Right.
that it still kind of hangs out there sometimes, especially contest prep. And, the last time I was super lean, I was really messed up in the head. And since then, I added in calories. I gained like 25-ish pounds over the course of 2 years. So I haven't seen myself lean with muscle ever.
Gotcha.
And just, I think also with social media, you see these girls and you're just like, oh my gosh, they look amazing. And it's like, it's just hard not to get caught up in that and to just really, truly, want to get into my best shape possible and not worry about
the competition
or, and just that whole thing of like, am I lean enough? Am I lean enough? Will I be lean enough? And I know that I will. And I completely 100% trust Lane. It's just in my head is the obstacle, mentally.
There's always that self-doubt no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
no, I love that you said that though about, kind of the whole social media thing, because it's evolved so much, over the years. And we have, probably about 80% of our clientele are female. And a lot of them deal with the same exact thing where they're comparing themselves to, people that are either genetically gifted or kind of, we'll say, enhanced in some way, right? And I just want to know, what do you personally do to kind of shift your mindset from, comparing yourself to these big IG like household names where you have, kind of misleading pictures that are filtered, that they pretty much have it, they're taking pictures the day after the show, the lighting, all that stuff with the pump. So how do you get your mindset away from that to kind of focus on yourself and your own journey?
Honestly, the thing that always grounds me and keeps me grounded is just knowing that, as cliche as this might sound, my value as a person has nothing to do with my body, no matter what. It's who I am inside. It's who God made me to be. He created me to be like a creative person that wants to help people. And that's where I put my value. So at the end of the day, if I'm 300 pounds or 120 pounds, whatever, like that doesn't matter, So just keeping that in mind, I feel, thinking about that and being intentional about having those positive thoughts about myself and who I am as a person helps me to deal with those pressures.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't agree more with that. That's awesome.
Thanks, dude.
You're welcome. So next question, where are we on? Okay, so we kind of want to shoot maybe some like rapid fire questions at you, okay? So they don't have to be like 30-second answers. It's as fast as you want to answer them, okay?
All right.
So right now, what are you doing self-development wise?
Self-development wise, well, like I said, I'm just trying to get better at recipes and writing recipes. And just learning more. I'm always watching YouTube videos and podcasts like this to just learn more. I mean, I'm a huge science nerd. I love learning. I love expanding my knowledge. So I guess that'd be it.
Okay. And then like, just a quick question, like with the recipes, like where does like the inspiration come from? Like just self-experimentation, just putting it all together, seeing how it tastes, or how does it how do those recipes come alive?
Just like, I don't even know. I used to work at a cupcake shop, a couple different cupcake shops in Nashville, and that's kind of how I started learning about baking and creating recipes and things. But yeah, I actually owned my own little cake business for a while where I would make fondant cakes and stuff. So I've been doing it for a while, and I don't know. Sometimes I get crazy, weird ideas, and I just make stuff with it.
That's sometimes the best way to do it.
Yeah. Sometimes it turns out horrible. Sometimes it turns out
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Right? It's an experiment. So,
Exactly.
next one. So, how do you feel that you best serve your audience, and how do you deliver value to them? Obviously, we're talking. We know the recipes. So, what is another way?
I guess like for like my YouTube videos and just like my posts in general, I try to be really intentional about each post and bringing some kind of information to people that will help them. Not necessarily like this is what I'm doing in my day, but like more like this post has a purpose. Like I like to make lists. Like I made this, that fast food chain restaurant list.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Just stuff to help people and make their lives easier and better.
Okay, gotcha. And then, what was I going to ask? So, we follow you on Snapchat, and I noticed too that like you're very authentic, which I really, really like that. That's why I like
Thank
Snapchat
you.
so much, because it's hard to really, fake it on there and,
That's
pretend
true.
like you're being someone else. So, I think just the fact that you're authentic, you keep it real, you're not trying to be someone you're not. I think that really goes a long way, and that's why your audience just loves what you do.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah.
I think the same about you guys.
Thank you so much. We try.
Wait. I got to interrupt here. So, Kate, you're on Snapchat, and I don't have you on Snapchat.
Oh,
What's going on here?
Man.
Add me.
All right, so give us
Duh.
your Snapchat right now so the audience can hear it as well.
All right, it is Macroexperiment with no the. There's no the. Just straight up Macroexperiment.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I'm going to add you after this.
Yeah, you better.
All right, Kate, so if you could go back to when you were 20 years old, okay? 20 years old. What kind of advice would you give yourself at 20 years old, knowing what you know right now?
That is really hard. I was kind of a wimp at 20 years old, so I would just say, grow a pair, be totally confident in yourself, and enjoy every day, enjoy every moment. Don't necessarily look into the future too much. Just enjoy every day and every moment that God gives you, the people that are around you. Yeah,
I love that.
that's what I'd say.
Okay,
That's
awesome. So what would you say right now? What are you most grateful for, and why?
All right, it's going to be a little cliche, but I
No,
would say I am grateful for God's love and for my family and my friends and my supportive husband and my dog, just the people around me that are constantly encouraging me and pouring into me is what I am most grateful for.
Nice. So
For
I just
sure.
want to add on to that. So I think that's huge when, you have like a supportive significant other. I think that's
Yeah.
huge. And we have a lot of clients too, where sometimes they'll start and then like their significant other will kind of question it and kind of like, put them down, which is very unfortunate in our opinion. But then
Yeah.
it's funny because they start coming around to it when they start seeing the lifestyle that these people build, the habits, the results,
Happiness.
the happiness, all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I just think that's huge when someone has a significant other that's fully on board, fully supporting you. So, that's really, really awesome. And, tell your husband we said he's awesome for that.
Okay, I will.
We'll give him a fist pump.
He's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so since obviously this podcast, I mean, it is geared towards a lot of lifestyle, but we still want to kind of keep some sort of, training, nutrition stuff in there. So tell the audience right now what you're doing, currently for training wise, and then what your nutrition looks like for your prep right now.
Okay. Well, obviously Lane is doing my training and nutrition. And so for training, it's a mix of some powerlifting and some bodybuilding hypertrophy stuff.
Okay.
So I lift 5 days a week. I do 2 HIIT cardio sessions, 9 intervals each, 3 20-minute steady state sessions for now. But I mean, it kind of changes
Yeah.
the deeper and deeper we go into prep.
Do you look
And
forward to your hit sessions?
No, I don't.
We used
I
to
don't.
freaking hate those things.
Oh, I had to ask.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I don't like cardio.
Yeah,
but-
it sucks.
Cool. But nutrition wise, my macros continue to drop a little by little, really steadily. And I'm super thankful for Lane because if I was doing this by myself, I would have dropped it way faster. I would have lost so much muscle. I would probably be like a stick figure by now. So I'm really thankful for Lane, for his coaching.
Yeah.
but yeah, actually, I have 3 lower macro days and 1 high macro day, like every 4 days.
Okay.
And I'm posting every single week. I update my blog, just like I did with those reverse diets. So this macro experiment continues as I cut, and so I update every week with my cardio, my macro changes, my weight changes, my waist measurement, like all the stats that I give Lane, I post on my blog, and I post what he's doing. Nice. Which is really cool of him to let me do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
super cool.
I agree. That's really awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So then, what do you like to do for fun, and don't hold back?
All right. Man, I still watch anime. Oh, my dog's barking. Whoa. The whatchamacallit? Sorry, the UPS guy is here, so he's going nuts. But I love playing with my dog. My dog is my everything. But yeah, I watch anime. I play video games here and there. And I just like hanging out with my husband and laughing about stupid stuff. We just like laugh for hours about nothing. But it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And do you still kind of like practice like your music thing kind of on the side?
Yeah. Sorry, my phone's messing up. I do. I still write. And actually, this is kind of on the down low, but I just recorded a new parody song. I'm excited. And my husband is actually a music video director here in Nashville. That's what he does for a living. So he is going to hook me up and make a music video.
Wow.
So it's going to be fun.
There you go.
We want to see that.
All right, you will. It'll be a minute, but it'll be fun.
Right on. All right. Cool.
Okay, so we're going to leave you with the final question, okay? You ready for it?
All right. Sure.
What does it mean to live a dynamic lifestyle to you?
All right. So, to live a dynamic lifestyle. So, to me, the word dynamic means changing. So, it's like not static. It's like you are constantly growing. You're constantly changing into the best version of yourself, pushing yourself to the limits and growing. That's my answer.
Okay. Love it. Perfect. Love it. And before we let you go with everything, we just want to take a moment, Chris and I, and just say that, how much we acknowledge what you're doing within the industry. We feel like that your work is just going a long ways, really just standing out, helping people out. We know we've collaborated with you on a couple of projects, and it's been an honor doing that. We look forward to following your journey, the rest of your prep, everything, and we wish you the best of luck. So where can our audience and readers and everything, learn more about you?
Aw, you guys are the sweetest ever. Well, they can go to my blog, themacroexperiment.com. I also have a YouTube, The Macro Experiment, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter that much, but sometimes here and there.
I don't like Twitter either.
Twitter's kind of lame.
It's kind of lame. Like, I don't know, whatever. And then if you want recipes, I have some on my blog and also on avatarnutrition.com and biolane.com.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And we will have all of those links in the show notes for you guys, okay? All right, Kate, so we just want to say thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you, guys.
We really appreciate everything that you're doing for the community, the industry. So we shall talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
You're very welcome.
Keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.
Thanks. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye, y'all.